Do you know there are fish with wings? Wow, who'd believe such crazy things? Yet, strange enough, if you're at sea, some flying fish there just may be. All flying fish swim near the top, and if they're startled, out they pop. They sail through waves and ocean spray, just like a graceful fish ballet. They leap from waves into the air, safe for a while without a care. Some fly out from beneath our ship to make us happy on our trip. Here's the story of Finny Fish, a flying fish with one big wish. Finny's a brave, bold flying fish, and that is why he gets his wish. Now, Finny was a flying fish. He lived out in the sea. And Finny dreamed of just one wish. He wanted to fly free. Most people think that flying fish already may be free, but Finny was a funny fish, the world he yearned to see. So Finny dreamed a special wish, the strangest ever heard. For Finny wanted as his wish to fly just like a bird. The flying fish can fly, they say, but not for very long. They only fly a little way because they're not that strong. But Finny found out long ago his wings were extra light. You'd never know how far he'd go, because he'd fly out of sight. And many times the other fish of Finny, they'd lose track. Then suddenly they'd hear kersplish, and Finny would be back. Whenever Finny would fly out and sail through air so clear, the other fish would hear him shout, "A great big world's out here!" Now all the friends that Finny had would say this was a game. They'd claim this was so very bad and shake their heads with shame. For playing games from wave to wave out in the ocean blue is not the way these fish behave. It's not the thing to do. And since all other flying fish just flew from wave to wave, no fish could ever share his wish, but still they'd let him rave. On some bright days, he'd skip his school, believing he'd learn more. He'd disobey this fish school rule and go out to explore. Well, one day on his way to school, he saw a sailing ship. He knew it was against the rule, but thought he'd take a trip. He judged the distance to the rail to start his little trek. He flapped his wings and flipped his tail and landed on the deck. He scrambled underneath the sail so he would not be found. He braced his wings against the rail and wrapped his tail around. Now little Finny held his breath so long he thought he'd scream, and surely he faced certain death, and yet this was his dream. The situation looked most grim. Then waves broke through the rail. They formed a pool, allowing him to breathe beneath the sail. He stayed there for the longest time, he later would report, until he heard the ship's bell chime while docking at a port. He waited till the break of day, then ventured out once more, and quickly dropping to the bay, he made his way to shore. He breathed in lots of fish's air and really forced it down. He needed lots of air to spare as he explored the town. Now Finny had not seen before a fishing town and pier. But if he checked a little more, he'd see there's danger here. For on the dock there sat a cat, as cunning as you please. This cat thought Finny was a rat and jumped up in the trees. Well, Finny moved along with ease, just looking at the town. And when the cat sprang from the trees, he knocked poor Finny down. Wow, Finny knew not what to do, so he did everything. He flipped his tail and shouted, "Boo!" then tried to flap each wing. The startled cat stopped his attack as Finny rose up high. And Finny wasn't looking back, but flew up in the sky. Now safely flying, he could see the world he knew was there. He saw each mountain and each tree, a sight beyond compare. He flew around for quite a while before he took a rest. And then he shouted with a smile, "I like my ocean best." But Finny needed air right now. He had to get back fast. If he did not get back somehow, he knew he would not last. So Finny quickly dived back in the waters of the bay. and started traveling once again, back home, so far away. He told his friends about his tour while dreaming of more trips. But all they'd say was, ha, 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 sure, what cats and towns and ships. No matter what he'd try to say, his friends would laugh and spurn. But Finny knows that come what may, good lessons he did learn. So Finny now is back in school and happy to be there. He learned a great exploring rule. Be careful and beware. Still, Finny's wish remains the same, to fly up high much more. But now he knows it's not a game, not like it was before. Yet Fish's air is not up there, away up in the sky. So how will Finny breathe his air if it's not up that high? Well, Finny does not know today just how he'll work this out. But when he does, he'll fly away and you'll hear Finny shout. Fintastation, he will say, I'll fly o'er land and sea. And when I'm free to fly away, please come explore with me.